Peace. Good morning. Afternoon. It is Friday. I am again waiting to pick up my granddaughter in the long line of cars running their engines and belching toxic waste into the atmosphere. I'm one of them. It's Florida. It's hot. I have to have my windows rolled up so I can speak slightly more freely with traffic or cars lined up behind me and in front of me and people walking by. Turn that off so we don't get copywritten. I have a sling. I'm also on some anti-inflammatories, which seem to make me just a little loopy. So I'm trying to keep a handle on that. I burned some rice this morning already because my mind wanders with this a little bit. It is a tendonitis in my elbow. It is one of the continuing consequences of initially cipra poisoning, and secondly of the fact that I'm almost 50. Almost half a century, and I've taken some genetic hits, some DNA damage, and I have repetitive work injuries, using my body to mash into other bodies to help their body recover. But the reason I wanted to make this video, other than the fact that I have time and I haven't done it in a while, is when I went to the doctor for my elbow issue. I was going to, or I requested cortisone, something I would never normally do, but I've been dealing with this elbow and shoulder and neck for some time, but the elbow particularly for about 9 months now, and it hasn't gotten better. So I've officially put the sling on, taken the medication, doing what I'm supposed to do when I haven't been. But in my consultation with my doctor, she was looking at my elbow, and I mentioned cortisone, and she said she does cortisone. She does it in the elbow or in the shoulders and in more muscular areas, but the elbow is pretty much just bone and tendon. And what she said next is kind of the gist of my thought for this video. Is she goes, now I'm not familiar with how to do it in the elbow, but I can Google it and refresh myself on the technique, and I have no doubt that it's something I'm confident in doing. It's just I would need to do a refresher if you still want me to do this. And at the time I was like, I don't want a doctor Googling how to do something on me before an injection. But then my second thought was how fantastic an era this is, that is a thing. That's something we are able to do now. Back in days of old, you would have a learned physician interview a patient and discover they need to do a procedure, and they would go back to the tomes of ancient antiquity, into the secret cellar where scribes were transcribing tomes of knowledge passed down through generations, and only the scholars that have reached a certain point within the administration could have access to the knowledge. All this mystery and build up and restriction, all the mystery of learning, of knowledge. And now you go, oh, I'll just Google that. And you have better information than anyone ever in history at the click of a button. It reminds me also of how, is it Snow White? Sleeping Beauty. The Wicked Witch goes to her magic mirror on the wall, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest. So she had a magic mirror where she could go to ask magical questions about who's the prettiest. She has other things in the mirror also. But now we have way cooler mirrors, magic mirrors, in our pockets that have the knowledge of all of humanity, generally. And it can take video and take pictures, and some of them have sensors for altimeter, and it does so much more than a magic mirror does that it's way better than magic. I think it's a fantastic time, and I hope we don't kill ourselves before we get to fully enjoy the benefits of the culmination of all human knowledge in our pockets. I think that was it. Just rambling. I'm a little loopy. Good thing I'm driving. Peace.